Welcome to Wild Cherry, and we are talking wild cherry, not just cherries. So cherries tend to be your grocery store variety, delicious and nummy, but wild cherries are particular genies and species, and we're talking specifically here. We're going to look a little bit at some of the differences, because why this cherry or that cherry? And in the West, we're particularly looking at Prunus serotina or Prunus avium. Those are the two most common varieties that are used medicinally. In the East, the variety is Prunus japonica. Now let's dive a little bit more into some of these differences. In the West, the wild cherry, it's generally going to be the bark that's used of both the roots and the branches. They do use the fruit, of course. It tends to be more towards jams and liqueurs, flavorings. And in the East, it's going to be the pit that's most commonly used. So you get some differences right there. The Western variety of wild cherry tends to be more astringent and bitter. The Eastern variety is going to be a little bit more to the slightly sweet, pungent, cooling, and drying. So wild cherry, compared to just cherries, wild cherries are going to be less sweet, more to the bitter side, more tartness, generally more frequently used for flavoring because of this zing that they have. They're smaller. They hang in clusters off of long stalks. And in the West, just to compare now the Western wild cherry to the Eastern wild cherry, to dive in a little deeper, so not just wild cherry to cherries, but Western wild cherry, Prunus serotina in particular, to the Eastern variety, Prunus japonica. The Western variety is, especially this bark, as I mentioned, is mostly recognized as a tremendous cold and flu remedy. And it has a special emphasis on coughs. So it comes in as really handy for cough syrups and teas for bronchitis and whooping cough. And, whenever you're going to be kind of hacking up and coughing, wild cherry is a great go-to. The 17th century English herbalist Nicholas Culpeper, he sort of felt that the very differing varieties of cherries, from sweet to more bitter, could each of them be used in subtly different ways. And that's not unheard of in herbalism, whether Eastern or Western, because the sweet flavor is more generally identified with nutritive. Slightly moistening. The bitter is going to be more drying, more moving, more digestive in nature. So you can see how that would be the case. Now in the East, in traditional Chinese medicine, Prunus japonica is mainly used, they grind it up, powder it. It'll be mainly used for moistening the intestines and treating edema. Now both varieties have other applications, but this is their kind of focus, if you will. And cherries of either variety, East or West, farm grown, cultivated, or wild cherries, they're one of the few foods that naturally contain melatonin. And that's the hormone that helps you sleep. So it's a wonderful kind of slip some in your milk, slip some in your tea, great thing to be having, half hour before bedtime. Sour cherries, which are also known as wild cherries, contain 19 times the amount of beta carotene as blueberries. See what we're talking about? This is a fantastic differentiation. You want to be thinking about some wild cherry. It's a great one to have in your medicine cabinet, great one to have in your kitchen, great little juice, unsweetened, to have for helping you sleep at night. And please visit our website at whiterabbitinstituteofhealing.com to find out more about wild cherry.